Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by a new Redditor, a guy who's been making the rounds on the Reddit a little bit. Hungry Hasan Al-Ghanim. Say your last name again. I was doing it so good, and then I just... Al-Ghanim. Yes, Al-Ghanim. All right. My bad. I didn't think we were ever going to see another Canada card. I'm super excited. We're going to be going back to Canada. How excited are you to be representing in front of your Canadian fans again?
This is going to be the third time BKFC comes to Canada. The last two times, obviously, we put on an amazing show. Specifically, I'm just talking about myself, but I put on an amazing show for both those fights. So this next one is exciting. Obviously, expect the same stuff. We have a big market out here, so them coming back here is a big deal.
I still think the fights to make would be an American team versus a Canada team. I really like this America versus UK. You know what I mean? Like, and it could be a lot of fun. You guys have... WolfHouse could probably, have the entire card covered with all the weight classes for you guys yourself. You train with a monster team up there. Like, how did you come to WolfHouse, and explain how you guys have been so dominant in BKFC?
The story behind WolfHouse. So, my current coach, Parvez, and manager, he actually used to work at a more of a commercial fighting gym. I'm not going to name the name, but he used to work over there. This was about 7 years ago. Went trained over there with him. This is the first time I ever done any martial arts. And then he comes to me one day and says, hey, like, we already built a rapport for the past, 2 months, 3 months. He comes to me and says, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to be starting my own thing. I'm not the type of person to like pull people with me and, get these guys to lose business. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that you're no longer going to be seeing me here. Right. My initial reaction, where we're going, right? Like,
right.
You're packing your bags. I'm packing my bags too. Where are we going? And then WolfHouse, we've moved different gyms as the, I guess, members gotten bigger. We were at WolfHouse 1. We actually built that one together. Me, Parvez, Chad, and a couple others. We built that from the ground up. We obviously, the gym blew up, and we went to another gym, and we all built that again, and then a third gym, and then continuously just going. But to answer your question about why we're so dominant, we have a standard. Obviously, we have our head coach Parvez. We also have Ryan. We have We have all these guys that push us to the limits, and we don't. We don't. We're not bitches. Like,
okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry for using that language, but we're not going to be giving somebody like an easy way out. If you don't want to put the work in, then go to our beginners classes, right? Go to our classes that are not serious about fighting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you're serious about fighting, come. We'll invite you to our classes. We'll get you to do our program and make sure that you're in your top shape, you're conditioned, you're disciplined, and you're mentally prepared to go into every single fight. Because that's the most important thing. And then that's why we've been, you could say dominant, but for me, it's just something normal, right?
Sure.
So yeah, we've just been working hard, and it shows.
Yeah, like I said, I still think the stuff to do, like, WolfHouse versus another big team in BKFC. I mean, you have Genesis out there in Colorado. I don't know if you got to like go check out their gym while you're out there in Colorado, but you got Shift down there in Florida. I think a fun one would be gym versus gym.
That would be a good one. Well, I know for Ice Wars they had Canada versus USA, and that kind of caught a little bit of traction. BKFC Texas, they had Cowboy versus Indian kind of gimmick thing going on there, right? So a Canada USA card would be pretty good. I know they're currently promoting a UK USA card. Well, fights kind of thing, know. So a Canada versus USA or Canada versus the world or something like that. That'd be pretty interesting.
I was at that BKFC Ice Wars. I can't lie. I was actually rooting for more of the Canadians because I interviewed both sides, and the Canadians were so much nicer than the Americans. I was actually rooting for the wrong team.
Hey, it happens. It is what it is, But obviously, I'm just there for good fights. Well, that's why I was there. I was there for good fights. I don't have a bias between one or the other. I just want good fights when there was good fights. So
I was in Dubai, and not to like Dubai, the big thing was they wanted undefeated fighters versus undefeated fighters from around the globe.
Yeah.
I was absolutely floored when you weren't invited to there. Had you talked about going to the Dubai card since you know, like your people are from the Middle East?
Yeah, so they actually brought up Dubai to us.
Mhm.
And then when they brought it up, I was right away. I was just like, I don't care who the opponent is. I don't care. Let's just go. I want to put a show on for my people because I'm from the Middle East, right? I
Sure.
said, let's go put on a show for my people. Uh, and then I don't know. I was disappointed when it was 2 months out, then 1 month out, and then 2 weeks out. Then all of a sudden the card is happening, and I still didn't receive a phone call. Right? I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, you get another big win. Like I said, that was when I talked to the guys over in Dubai. They said, we want people to show up who are undefeated and we want to know someone's going to lose. So that way they show all out. So like, I think
Yeah.
another win and BKFC is going back to Dubai this fall. I think they said November, like end of November. So like it very well could put you in the running for that.
I hope so, man. Like I was excited when they brought it up to us. So if they're going back to Dubai and they want another undefeated fighter that always puts on a show and guarantees knockouts, I'd be down.
Is 155 your natural weight class?
I mean, it's a weight class I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
As an amateur, I fought at 165
Okay.
because there is no cutting weight as an amateur. So I just stayed at 165. It was my natural weight. I just picked up fights there. 155 is a nice, easy cut. If I wanted to go to 145, it would be a little bit more aggressive cut, but 155 is a comfortable weight for me when I'm fighting.
I just wasn't sure if the fact that you have so many good friends and Chad, I believe, is down at 45. I wasn't sure if you stayed at 55 just to avoid any conflict of interest right there.
No, I think Chad right now for his next fight in Edmonton here, he's going to be fighting at 55.
Okay.
Obviously, both of us eventually plan on going down to 45. When we'll do that, who knows? But there's no conflict of interest, none of that. Like we both have a mutual understanding of we're brothers before fighters. You know what I mean? I grew up with that guy. Where the first day I was in the gym, he was in the gym, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like we kind of grew up in our fight careers together.
It's just interesting. We've talked to some people and they said, absolutely not will I fight my teammate. And other people are go, I will fight my teammate. The money has to be right, but we know it's a business and that's what matters the most.
No, for us, like I said, it's a brotherhood before a business. Like
Sure.
if it was me and him for the title, it's the top two guys kind of thing. But if it's just a random, he couldn't find an opponent, I couldn't find an opponent, let's fight. No, you won't see that happening.
Do you feel like you'd have an easier path to the title at 45 or at 55?
Who knows? A lot of the guys from 45, a lot of the top contenders from 45 moving up to 55, right?
It's really weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, like we have Algao Duran, he moved up to 55. HD moved up to 55. It looks like Kai is moving up to 55. All the big names are moving up to 55. So I don't know. It feels like the path might be the same at this point.
Sure.
The top five is the exact same people.
Were you much of a fan of BKFC before joining BKFC, or like after you got to be part of BKFC, you became more of a fan?
When they started doing the tryouts, that's when I learned a little bit more about BKFC, and I did a little bit of research and all that stuff, and then I started becoming a fan. But
Sure.
then when I was invited to the tryouts and all that stuff, and then leading up to my first fight, I studied a lot of fights, literally from BKFC 1, like watched the whole entire, just studying how the sport's been growing and different techniques and how people are, incorporating boxing and they're grappling into the fighting and whatnot. That's when I became like a really big fan, where I was just like, man, like this sport is crazy. This sport is good.
Are you somebody who, if somebody your weight class isn't on the card, do you watch the cards? It's crazy how many people that are involved with BKFC don't watch, and I get texts all the time like, how did this guy do? How did this guy do? But there's also guys who who watch every single fight. Like, are you a guy who watches every fight, or are you only the ones that matter the most to you?
Uh, Not necessarily every fight.
Sure.
If there's a good fight going on, I'll watch it. You know,
Oh,
if two fighters are a really good matchup, I will definitely watch it. If it's a debuter versus a debuter that have no martial arts experience or boxing experience or MMA experience, I would probably skip that fight or just like you know what I mean. Just like not necessarily be too interested in it. I'll have it playing in the background. But if it's fighters that are fighting that have shown it's going to be exciting fight, regardless of the weight class, I will
sure.
watch. I'll 100% watch it.
How did you get on the Colorado card? Did they approach you for that? Or like, I was shocked to hear that you were going to be on the Colorado card. Like, was that kind of the plan the whole time, or were you a replacement for somebody? Or
So right after I fought in the second Edmonton card, about a week later, my manager Parvez, he called me. He was just like, "Hey, like, is your passport ready?" Right? Obviously, I told him my passport's always ready. You know how it is. So my passport's always ready. And a week after that, uh, we get a phone call saying, "Hey, like, you guys want this?" All right. And then I think that was actually like about mid September
okay,
last year. They gave us the call and they were like, "Yo, like, if you want to be on the Colorado card, we have an opponent. We could pull somebody in. We could get all done for you." And right away we said yes. Let's go. Let's do it. And then bada bing, bada boom. We're in Colorado fighting.
was it nice to be able to get out and be like fight in some? We see so many people who get pigeonholed to fighting only in their hometown, and it's an unfortunate. But you were a guy who got to change it up. Like, was that an exciting experience?
It was really really exciting. Obviously the altitude in Colorado is way different than Edmonton, so I got to experience that. But then I got to experience uh being the villain.
Sure.
For my first fight, obviously you could say I was the villain because my opponent was from Alberta, but this
Yeah.
is completely different. Not only am I uh not from Colorado, I'm not even from the USA,
Sure.
right? So a lot of people were booing me right when I walked in, right when they said my name, I was being booed, and it was a feeling, it was an amazing feeling. It was
Is
fun.
it more fun to be the favorite, or is it more fun to be the bad guy?
Uh, I don't, it to me it doesn't matter.
Okay.
One thing that somebody said once, I'm not gonna say their name, it's super obvious who said this, but they said that uh, if fans cheer for you because they like you, it's a good thing. If fans boo you because they hate you, it's a good thing. It's when fans do nothing, that's when there's an issue, right? So every single fight I've been at so far, I've either been booed or cheered. So
I was talking to Kai, and I told him, I said, it's easier to be the bad guy. I said, when you're the good guy, you have to watch what you say and watch how you do everything. When you're the bad guy, people expect you to be bad. And it's crazy. Lorenzo Hunt is probably the best bad guy there is. Like, if he doesn't have a camera on him, he's such a nice guy. But you put a camera on him and he's instantly a bad guy and everybody hates him. And like I said, he's got it figured out. And I think as more of you guys figure it out, and like I said, you can clearly be the good guy in your hometown. But when you're, the away guy, absolutely the bad guy is the way to go.
oh, 100%. It's a show. Like, and that's the way it has to be. We gotta sell fights. It's a show. Obviously, for specific fights, it's not a show. It's more personal. But if you're getting booed, you have to embrace it. There's no sense in changing their minds. Embrace it. Go with it.
You've had a vicious knockout, and I feel like that propelled you to stardom. Like, how does it go from being like one day you're kind of like an unknown guy, you have an absolutely spectacular knockout, it goes viral, millions of fans watch it, and suddenly like everybody knows you all of a sudden?
Uh, it's the second time that's happened actually.
Okay.
When I was an amateur, I fought once at 150 pounds, I think it was. Uh, and the very first punch of the fight that I landed, within 4 seconds, the person went out cold. Right.
Okay.
And that was as an amateur with headgears, with 12-ounce gloves, boxing gloves. Right. So that's the first time that's happened, and it went viral. Uh, so for me, it was more of a, you give me the opportunity to do that in front of millions of people, and it will happen again. And I will guarantee it will happen again. And sure enough, for that fight, I was the villain. My opponent and his team was talking a lot of smack, so it just fueled the fire some more. So it was more of a, I need to knock this guy out. I need to like make this happen. And just the way it happened was just a movie. I right before even the referee, waved the fight off, I waved the fight off, because I knew it was done there.
What's your goals for the combat world? Any goals that go into boxing? I see some of your guys in the gym, they go to boxing, MMA. Are you good with just sticking with BKFC, or like do you plan on venturing out into other areas too?
I haven't thought about that, to be honest. Right now, my goal is just BKFC. Obviously, there's a lot of guys in BKFC that have moved from BKFC to different martial arts. I don't know yet. I haven't really thought about that. But right now, my focus is just BKFC and just doing the best I can in there.
How did you find out about the Reddit? You were on the Reddit. You were sneaky. You were a lurker, and I would get little messages like, "Oh, somebody from WolfHouse, said this and saw that." And then finally, you came out and you're like, "Hey, it's me." So, like, I mean, were you a Reddit user before, or like, where did that come about?
I've never been a Reddit user, to be honest.
Okay.
Never been a Reddit user ever. The first time I actually seen Reddit was after the first card. A couple of posts were made about me, about the knockout. So those actually were messaged to me. I didn't go in there. I didn't read them. They were sent to me, and I'm just like, oh, like this is pretty cool stuff, right? Like clearly they know what they're talking about, and clearly they have some information that I don't know how to say it. Like they're like the Ariel Hawani of BKFC. Sure. Like they have the inside scoop to a lot of stuff. They give us the news kind of thing, right? So I started following it without like making an account for a little bit, and it just kept going from there, from like constantly. And then I was just like, you know what, like this stuff is like pretty interesting, One second.
Yeah.
Interview right now. You do that. I'll see you later. Yeah.
No, it's
funny right there.
Oh, super chat! Yeah, I got to get him on the show. Once they announce his opponent, I'll get him on the show.
Yeah.
So you guys literally are like a family. You hang out on on your days off, and
100%. Every single person that was at the first BKFC, the second BKFC, they're all in the house right now. Me, Chad, Drew, Alexandra, and a couple other guys. We're all in the house right now having a birthday party for a 7-year-old.
Awesome. What's it like having a very tough woman on the team? You're what's her last name?
Delgado.
Okay, that's what. Yeah.
Lopez.
She looked pretty phenomenal. Like, and she just hangs with you guys and spars with you. Like, or do you have to like bring in females for her to spar with, or she goes with you guys? So I mean, she's just working with that higher competition.
We tried to bring her in some females. It's tough. Not a lot of females want to go as intense as her. And majority of the females in Alberta, that's like where we live, she's actually fought some of them, majority of them, in amateur boxing and in MMA. So it's hard to get some people to come in to spar her. So majority of the time she's just sparring us, which makes her hit a lot harder, makes her a lot faster, makes her take a little bit more punishment, right?
Not looking past your next opponent, but after your next opponent, is there somebody on your radar that you'd like, a specific matchup or anything like that? Are you looking for top 5? Are you looking for like, I don't like this person, I'd love to shut his mouth type of thing? Or
honestly, the one person that I want to fight is Louis Lopez.
Okay.
So the story behind him, made some comments on my Instagram, whatever it is, what it is. Messaged me saying, he wants to shut me up and a whole bunch of shit talk on Instagram. Right when that stuff started happening, we called Nate Shook right away. Hey, this is a guy I want to fight. Bring him to Edmonton August 9th. I don't care. I will do it for free. Bring him here. We're fighting him. He's not my opponent. So
It's weird
I
because
don't.
I go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't care about what happened. But when you shit talk, you're gonna get smacked, right? So the plan is after this fight, he doesn't want to come to Canada. Okay, I will go to him. I
Sure.
will go to the US and fight him there. So
No, that makes sense. It's weird that you are such an intimidating guy. I've heard numerous names for like an opponents for you, and lots of people backed out. Like, is it because you have that crazy knockout power? Is it because they don't want to go to Canada? Why is it so difficult to find you a fight?
I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, they know that there's a possibility they might get knocked out.
Sure.
There is a high possibility they might get knocked out. They know that I could go 5 rounds. An example is my last fight. I could go 5 rounds. I'll take some punishment and I'll give a lot of punishment back, right? So it's not going to be a walk in the park for them, right? Uh, yeah, like I don't know.
Do you
I
feel
don't know.
like your last fight only went 5 rounds because of the elevation and all?
I honestly, all credits to my previous opponent. He's a good fighter, but
Sure.
I think that the elevation made a big difference for me. Uh, Obviously, I still went 5 rounds.
Sure.
Did I want to? I slowed down the pace because I noticed, the elevation was hitting me a little bit different, right? Uh, we had a game plan. I didn't stick to the game plan, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Still went 5 rounds. Still beat the crap out of the guy. He beat the crap out of me. It was a good fight.
Okay, so recently BKFC Ice Wars was just in Canada. You went to that. Is there any chance we see you throw on a pair of ice skates and knock some people
Nope.
out?
No fucking way in hell. Nope. I am not putting no skates on.
Do you know how to skate?
I don't know how to skate. Never had skates on in my life. So
Okay.
I am not doing that in fighting. I'll need to learn how to do it first.
Is there anybody from WolfHouse that you could see doing that? Is any hockey players on WolfHouse?
uh, I'm not sure. I think Drew Stuvo.
Okay.
I think he might be.
Yeah.
I think he might be the one to do it. I don't know if he skates. But he is from Alberta. He is from this area, and I think he used to play hockey when he was a kid. I feel like he would definitely do it.
Like, how was the experience? Did you like it? Like I said, I went to the first one. I'm curious to see what they do. They're going to Tampa, I believe, in September. I'm curious to see how they change it because they didn't do much between the first and the second one.
It was interesting. It was definitely interesting. Obviously, it's not typical fight rules.
Sure.
They had their rules altered a little bit just to make it more. And it's still in the process of working on the rules as well, right? So
Sure.
for a fighter watching that, it was entertaining because it was just fighting, right? Uh, I thought it was fun. It would have been better if I actually understood the rules because, like, after somebody gets dropped, they just stood back up and continued fighting. I'm just like,
Yeah.
where's the 8 count? Like, well, what is this? And then I learned, hey, there is no 8 counts right now. Maybe in the future, but maybe knocking out right now.
The crazy part about that, I like those guys intentionally fall on each other to like try to knock the air out of each other, and I mean it's some
Yes.
crazy stuff. But I like it. It's so interesting. My last question I always ask people the first time I have them on the show: do you remember the first time you were in a street fight? Did you fight much as a kid growing up? And if you did fight much, do you remember the first time? And it's got to be against somebody other than a family member.
I didn't actually fight in the streets.
Okay.
I had one fight when I was in high school, and like the guy that I fought ended up being a really good friend of mine and a really good family friend. But after that fight happened, uh, the guy lost his memory.
Oh
Right.
no. Yeah.
So right after the fight, maybe like 30 minutes, he would come up to me and say, "Hey, like, when are we throwing down? When are we fighting?" And I'm just like, "Oh, like something isn't right here, like we just had our fight." And then I
Yeah.
realized what was going on, right? And then from that, I realized, like maybe step away from the street fighting BS,
Yeah.
uh, and all that stuff because it's dangerous, like you could be fighting in a parking lot somewhere and then get dropped and then head hits the pavement and cracked open, person is dead or brain damage or something like that, right?
Sure.
So stepped away from that, started just training and doing it in the gym, and then yeah, here we are.
Did his memory ever come back?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, he's good now. We're good friends, so we talk
Okay.
all the time. Well, not all the time, but we talk from time to time. He's a really nice guy. Do I feel bad for what happened? 100%. You know, it was just kids. You know.
Okay. Do you have any message for your fans, supporters, haters, anybody, any message, sponsor shout outs, anything you'd like to get out there before we call it a night?
All I gotta say is there's a gap in the 155 division. There is the people who say yes to everybody, right? The top, we'll just say top 20 people who say yes to everybody. And then there's the group of us that want to fight, but can't get any fights because everybody else says no. You know, I think the 155 division, and I'm not talking to the guys that are regularly fighting, props to them. Those guys are amazing. They're doing their work. They're saying yes to their fights. But the guys that are picking their fights at 155, saying no, saying this, you know, you go on the app, there's over 500 155ers. Why is it so hard to get a fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah, I completely agree. I get so many messages like, hey, help me get a fight. You know, they offered me 3 guys and all 3 guys backed out. You know what I mean? And it's weird, especially when all you see on the internet is like, I'm a dog, I'll fight anybody. And it's like, I know you were offered 2 fights and you said no to both. So like, you know, like, I don't know who you're kidding, but it's getting frustrating.
yeah, it's super frustrating. Like, they announced this card a month ago, 2 months ago, right? Like quite a bit ago. And up until last week, we had 6 opponents, 2 contract signs, and everybody said no. Obviously, there's cases for people like they received a contract for a bigger fight
Sure.
or a bigger event. Like I totally understand that, right? Like I understand that. I'm not giving them shit, but the ones that just say no just to say no,
Sure.
or say no because they might lose the fight. Come on, man. Like, let's get this shit together. You know what I mean?
Right. All right, man. Well, look, I look forward to talking with you again. I appreciate you being on the Reddit and helping out. And like, you know, like I said, I'm surprised we have as many Canadians on there as we do. And like I said, you've been a help. And I saw you were selling some tickets. It's weird that they're kind of fucking you guys on tickets, though. I heard they weren't going to let you guys sell tickets in hand. They have to like buy them all through the. Is that true?
Yeah. So
that's stupid.
A couple of the people that I was talking to, they all wanted table tickets.
Sure.
And they got table tickets and whatnot from me, and like actual physical tickets from me the previous fights. This time around, a month out, okay, hey, we're not giving you guys tickets. Okay, well, what about everybody I just said I'll have tickets for them? Right?
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Like we sold over $15,000-$20,000 worth of tickets that I have that are sold to people that are now unable to get tickets because you're not giving us the tickets, and they go online, they're all sold out by nobody knows who. Like,
yeah, doesn't make sense. I didn't like that. I heard that and I didn't like that, so that sucks.
100%. So it's
all right.
disappointing for all of us.
Well, get your win. We'll talk again, and thank you so much for everything, man.
For sure. Thank you so much.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.